Hello everyone, Sal Judyyah here, the CEO of Piflow Digital Marketing, and in this video we're going to be talking all about prospecting and building a unique story brand. Together and executed properly, your business can thrive and take off to unimaginable heights. The first activity we're going to be discussing is the cornerstone of any sales operation, and that is prospecting. Prospecting is the number one activity that you cannot do enough of. I'll give you an analogy here. If your business was a jet plane, your sales operation would be the engines and prospecting would be its fuel. Just think about it. If you want your business and your jet plane to be flying and soaring all the time, would you want to have a limited amount of fuel, or would you want to have an unlimited amount of fuel? Of course you want to be having an unlimited amount of fuel, which means prospecting should never stop at any point in your sales operation. This is exactly why a lot of realtors and entrepreneurs fail at business, because they miss on doing the two most important operations in business, which are sales and prospecting. Now, to avoid failure, you need to constantly be fueling your engines, which means constantly prospecting. And the way you can achieve that is by doing the following 7 activities. Number 1, reaching to your social circle. Number 2, attending social community events. Number 3, cold calling. Number 4, door knocking. Number 5, social media outreach. Number 6, advertising and lead generation. And number 7 is my all-time favorite, which is referrals, and referrals. All right. This is the part of the video that you've all been waiting for. Right now, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks that you can start implementing in your prospecting operation so you can have more success and get more clients. Number 1, when you're reaching out to your social circle, you want to pull out your phone, find that top 40 to 50 people that you can reach out to right now, and what you're going to be doing is not asking them for favors or asking them for a sale or asking them for any of that. You're going to be activating your social circle by saying, hi, how you doing? You know, this is Sal. I've been doing great. My business is booming. How have you been? What have you been up to? Now, the next time they're going to need a service from your business, they're going to call you because you've made the call and you've asked about them. This would be your list number 1, and from time to time, every 2-3 months, you're going to be going back to that list and calling them just to say hi. Number 2, attending social community events. As a realtor, though, what you want to be doing is attending every community event in your neighborhood that you farm continuously, okay? You want to show face there. You want to be that realtor that is communal, that attends these events and shows a caring type of personality, shows interests in the people of that community. The second type of events that you want to be attending are the events where your prospects are most likely to show up at. So investors events, your prospects are investors, buyers, sellers. They have a certain problem and they're going to be attending events to solve this problem. If they're investors, they're going to be attending investors events or investors networking events. Now, the last thing you want to do at these events is just be pitching and pitching and pitching. Show interest in your prospects, offer a helping hand, be their guide, and learn more about them. At the end of the night, you want to be, after you've added all of them, of course, to your social network, so if you've taken their business cards, you want to take that home and add it to your list number 2, the list that you got from your social community events. And again, now those leads are going to be considered warm leads, and from there, you can be calling them and showing interest in how you can be helping them and how you can be solving their problems. Number 3, cold calling. And this is the one that a lot of people have a lot of struggle with, just simply because you have not had any kind of contact with the person that you're going to be calling. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to hang up on you. There's going to be a lot of rejection, and you're just going to have to deal with it because it's part of this type of prospecting activity. The way that you're going to have to think about this is that what you want to be doing is reaching out to that one person that's going to be saying yes. And the idea here is they're going to be saying yes to a 10 to 15 minute meeting to meet with you to potentially see what you have to offer. Start building your cold calling lists. It's as simple as picking up the 411.ca handbook and just dialing away from that book. What you can do is you can go to the specific section that is in the specific area that you're farming and simply start dialing from there. If you are an entrepreneur or have a different types of business, what you can simply do is look for lists of businesses that are your prospects and make a list of those businesses, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, and you're going to be starting to dial away. So right now I'm going to be giving you 3 tips that you can do to increase your chances of succeeding with cold calling. Number 1, what you want to be doing is introducing yourself first. Hi, this is Sal Judyyah from Piflow Digital Marketing. How are you doing today? And just stop. They're going to respond to you with, hey, I'm doing great. What do you want? Or something like that. Number 2, what you want to be doing next is asking them if they're busy right now and they want you to call some other time. This takes out the objection and disarms them from the objection that they would say to you that, hey, I'm busy right now, call me later. If you introduce the objection first and say, hey, are you busy right now? Would you like me to call you another time? Then they're gonna be like, oh, no, I just want to deal with this right now and get it over with. So, hey, tell me what you have to offer. Number 3 is you're gonna be stating your big claim. And the big claim is basically an attention-grabbing statement that says what you do, but at the same time creates interest and desire in the prospect wanting to meet with you to discuss further. So I'll give you an example of this. Hey John, we're a local digital marketing company. We've looked at your website and we've noticed that 80% of the traffic or 80% of the visitors that come to your website actually leave after 7 seconds. Now what we've been able to do is help similar businesses just like yours remarket to these visitors that leave after 7 seconds. And what we've been able to do with those businesses is generate up to 10 times return on investment on the advertising budget if you advertise with us. And you're gonna stop there. Now what you've done there is you've told him that you've done work for similar types of businesses just like his or hers, and that you can get him up to 10 times return on investment if they were to work with you. Now, who would not be interested in learning more about that? The next thing and the next part of the cold call is you want to pencil down a date and time to discuss further. You're not going to tell him more about this. You're not going to be pitching him more on the phone. You want to be meeting him or her in person or on a Zoom call or something of that sort. And you want to be meeting them so that you can discuss and present to them, how you've been able to do what your big claim is. Now, if you do these 3 things, that introduce yourself and ask if they're busy or not and state your big claim, I promise you your success rate with cold calling is going to increase by way a lot than what it is right now. The last thing I want to add about cold calling is what you want to be doing when you're cold calling is do not think about the rejections and the amount of rejections that you are doing. You have to remind yourself that you're speaking to those people for the first time, and this is a cold call. And the percentage of converting cold calls to meetings is very, very low. And it takes about 5 to 8 times with constant follow-up to those prospects on the cold call to actually convert them to meetings. So what you want to be doing is on a daily basis making about 150 to 200 cold calls and doing that continuously day after day and noting down what you spoke with the last time, so when you call again you're able to pick up where you left off. Okay, and you want to be doing this activity continuously. The more cold calls you do, the more outflow you do, the more meetings you're going to get. And the more meetings you're going to get, the more presentations you're going to do. And the more presentations you're going to do, the more deals you're going to close. Number 4, door knocking. And this is my favorite type of prospecting. Because what you're doing is you're actually going there in person. You know, you have your energy, you have you, and you're going to go there. And people are going to close the door on you. People are going to tell you to F off. People are going to be rude to you. But what Warren Buffett says is that 1 year of door knocking is actually equivalent to a degree, which is 4 years of a degree in communication. So if you're just starting off your career, my best advice to you is to go and door knock for 1 full year. And the way you do that is you take your farming area, you dissect it into 12 sections, and every month you're going to dedicate 3 to 4 hours where you're going to go out to that section and knock on every door in that area. You want to introduce yourself, and you want to handle objections. Of course, you want to note down all the objections. You know, I'm not interested. Oh, it's you again. You know, we're not selling our home. You want to note down all these objections down, so when you go to the next door or when you come back again, you'll handle the objection right away. Hey, I know that you're not interested, and you've told me this before, but I promise you, I'm going to tell you something that is going to change your life. Number 5, which is social media outreach. And this is a very easy one. Now, what you want to be doing is you want to do this differently than everybody else. A lot of people just go and add people randomly on Facebook, add people randomly on LinkedIn, add people randomly on Instagram, and just send them that one cookie cutter message. And people actually kind of bored of those techniques. So what about standing out, and what about sending a 30-second video of yourself? Hey, this is Sal. I run a digital marketing company here in the local area, and I would like to connect with you and see how I can help your business. Or even better, hey, this is Sal Judyyah. I'm running a local digital marketing company, and I've noticed that your website doesn't have a Facebook pixel that tracks the visitors. If I were you and I'm running my business, I would definitely look into installing that on my website. So there you've given him value, or you've given her value in less than 30 seconds. You've showed your face, so you showed your personality, and you've done something that not a lot of other people are doing. Number 6, advertising and lead generation. Now, this is the one that is a different type of all the other 5 that we've touched on, which you're all going out and reaching out to people. This one is designed in such a way where you're advertising, which means you're putting yourself out there for people to see you and come to you, right? So you're putting out advertisement, you're putting out a lead generation magnet where you're providing a free ebook or a free giveaway where people can subscribe to your mailing list or email list, or subscribe to your chatbot by giving them a free thing in exchange of their email or their phone number, and that way you're building your lead generation list. Now, further down, these leads are actually the best types of leads because they're warm leads and you know they're interested. It's not like the other ones where you're cold calling and they're not interested, or you're knocking on their door and they're not interested, or you're calling your social circle and you may or may not know if they're going to buy from you. These guys actually came to you because they have some sort of interest in what you have to offer. So you definitely want to be advertising and putting up some advertisement to attract your prospects to you. Number 7, and lastly, is referrals, referrals, referrals. With referrals, the cool thing is it's actually something that I personally or the top salespeople do at the end of each closing. As soon as you do that closing, you ask your prospect or your client right now, do you know 1 or 2 people that might be interested in buying from me? Just as simply as that. Hello, Mr. Client, right now, you're doing business with me. We have this trust. Do you know somebody in your network or your direct contacts that would need the same help and the same service? And they might say yes or no. They might say no. Most of them say yes. Most people want to help out. So they're going to possibly give you 1 or 2 contacts. At this point, you're going to reach to those contacts. The thing about referrals is there's instant trust because you know them through somebody. It's not a warm lead that's coming from lead generation. It's not a cold lead. It's somebody that came to you because someone from their network that they trust and they believe referred you to them. Now, after these activities where you're going to have not 1 list, not 2 lists, not 3 lists, but actually 7 lists and 7 different lists that you're going to combine into 1 master list. And that, my friend, is going to be your gold. Do you know what gold is in today's age? It's actually information. So now that we've talked about the 7 ways that you can prospect, and we talked about each one of them specifically, we're going to move on to talk about your story brand and how it can help you in the process of prospecting. What a story brand is that it's a specific way to deliver your message so that your customers listen. Now, when you're prospecting, a lot of problems happen when your prospects are confused or unable to understand what you have to offer to them. And if they don't trust or care about what you have to say to them, then no transactions happen. So you don't benefit and they don't benefit by solving their problem. So to solve this conflict, what Donald Miller, who's the author of the book Building Your Story Brand, says, you should think of your customer as a character in a movie or a story, as a character who has a problem and meets a guide who has a plan and calls them to action, takes them to success and helps them avoid failure. So these are the 7 characteristics of a story brand. In other words, what you want to be doing as the business is positioning yourself as the guide who has the plan and calls their customers to action. So the main 2 questions that you want to ask yourself are, what are the types of problems that my customer has? And usually there are 3 types of problems. 1 is external, 2 is internal, and 3 is philosophical. Question number 2 that you want to ask yourself is, how can I position myself and my business as the guide? The problem that some businesses have is that they're positioning themselves as the hero. And if you're doing that, then your business is bound to fail. You want to be positioning yourself as the guide who has the plan and calls their customers to action. Now, analyzing the 3 types of problems that your customer might have is a complex issue, and we're going to leave that for another video. We're going to be discussing who is the guide and what characteristics do they have. The guide is someone who has empathy and demonstrates authority. You need to tell your customers that you actually care about their problem and that you are the expert person that can help them with the plan that you have, and show authority using 4 different techniques. The first one is testimonials, statistics, awards, and logos. As you saw, when I did even the cold call, I was referring to some statistics such as 10x ROI, such as we've done similar work to other businesses in the local area. In other words, you want to be showing them that you have a plan that works and that you have proof of that. So when you're approaching your customers, you want to be presenting yourself as the guide who has the plan. Now, the other problem that arises is that there are way too many guides that are doing the same thing as you are. So how do you differentiate yourself as the guide, the one and only guide for them? This is common for realtors, where you have way too many realtors that are trying to prospect and reach out to the same customers and clients all the time. So what you want to be doing is, the secret word here is branding. You want to be branding yourself as someone who has the same values, mission, and vision as your clients, so that when you're communicating, you have this commonality with your customers. And so once that happens, then you're going to be able to differentiate yourself as the guide who has a commonality and has the same mission and values as your customers, and therefore there will be instant trust without you even communicating anything at all. Think about Apple. Why is Apple's brand so strong even though there's other brands that are selling the same thing or even better? It's because Apple has differentiated itself by showing that it's more than just a device. It's more than just a cell phone. It's more than just a laptop. It's a lifestyle. It's more than just another device. It resonates with the customer at a deeper level that resonates with their values, with their vision, with the way they perceive life and the future and how they interact with it. So brand is such a unique, and so the answer to being able to presenting yourself as the guide and the only guide that your customers want to work with is branding. And this one we're going to leave for another video. Once you have figured out branding, then you can tell them why you are the only person that they should be working with, and why you guys share the same values and the same mission and the same other characteristics that are not and cannot be found with other realtors or other businesses. And then you'll be able to tell them why you're the only guide that they can work with, and they can follow your plan so that you can take them to success, just like you did with all those other previous clients. So to summarize this video, we've discussed prospecting in depth. We've talked about your story brand and how your story brand can support and differentiate you when you're prospecting. And with these two combined, you can take your business and propel it forward and make it thrive so that you can reach unimaginable heights. Thank you so much. This has been Sal Judyyah once again from Piflow Digital Marketing. I really appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share and like the video. And if you've gained some value from this, please reach out to me. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and let me know your thoughts so I can get better and improve and provide more value to you in the future. I really just want to tell you that I've enjoyed this process of building the video, and once again I want to give a big shout out to Joseph Hirsch, as well as Toronto House of Luxury, Cinema Vahedi, as well as everybody that has participated and encouraged me to keep going with the videos. And yeah, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because if you guys did not encourage me and challenge me and push me forward, then this wouldn't have been possible. Thank you so much, and have a great one.